Hey, and a very good morning with good in air quotes and morning in air quotes. I hope you're all refreshed and feeling as fresh as I do, as we do. Hey, D.Fox.
Buch mal Platz. Morning. Hey, Dojo. Yeah, you look totally super, extremely maximum fresh.
I know, right? I am the freshest of all freshmen.
Freshest of all the land. Who's the freshest in all the land? Yeah.
That would be me.
Yeah.
That's also what my voice screams freshness.
Screams fresh. So, yeah. It's always good to have coffee.
It is also important to have coffee.
Definitely.
Cheers.
Cheers. This is not Irish coffee.
That's what you think.
Well, I don't have it.
That's true.
So yeah, we hope everybody is kind of as hopefully more awake than we are.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. I think we tried to go to bed like at 2:30 after when Messi's first concert first started, but somehow.
Yeah,
I was restless, and you were restless as well.
Yeah. There was just still too much going on. All kinds of messages in Slack that I wanted to catch up on, and people chatting like crazy in Discord, and I wanted to be part of it. And
catching up, I think, is the right thing.
See what people were doing, and then eventually, I think about 4-ish, I went to bed. That was just.
That's not bad. I think I went to sleep a bit earlier, but I was awake a couple of times, and every time I woke up, it's like, let's check Twitter, let's check Discord. What's happening? I want to be entertained. I want to be informed about things. Yeah. So
you were not asleep at that time.
No. So eventful day yesterday. We had lots of cool compos, awesome compos.
Oh yeah.
We had also the shader finals.
We had the shader finals. We had massive shader semifinals.
Oh yeah.
We had a sitting on the edge of your seat type final.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, my brain hasn't fully booted yet.
That's fine. That was like.
Yeah, I think.
Come on.
It was. Oh man, it was spannend until the end.
Spannend until it's Schluss.
My English isn't working yet.
The English here. Take that. What else happened yesterday? We had some seminars.
We had a few interesting seminars. We picked streams. 8051 coding for 6502 coders.
A processor guy. I don't CPU right now.
I don't CPU either.
I'm reduced to 8-bit at best.
Well, actually, I have 8-bit for us right here.
Oh, nice bits. 8 bits.
No.
They look like I should have a nipple. Right?
Nipple? No nipples.
Nibble.
Oh.
You know, like a nibble is...
No nibbles either.
Okay, no nerd jokes, I guess. Thanks, Dojo.
Yes, one nibble is for you, one nibble is for me. I get it, and it's funny.
It is?
Yes.
Okay, if you say so.
I think it's funny. Not many people might agree, but I do.
Yeah. So, we had...
Compos. And what compos we had.
Yeah, we start with the track music early in the morning. Early in the morning, like at 1.
Yes.
Early afternoon.
That's at 1 in the scene morning.
Yeah. So that's basically still just right after waking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, track music with awesome entries.
Yes. That was our first compo for the party, right?
First compo for the party, yeah.
It was a perfect start for the party because there was not a single uninteresting entry in there. They were all really, really, really good, and it kind of set the scene for the rest of the party to come.
The scene. Setting the scene.
Unintended.
Yeah.
In a world where I can't do the other thing.
So yeah, and then we had a blackout.
Yes.
What kind of compass do we have?
Let me go and pull up the
timetable so we can properly recap.
Oh, This is not the right keyboard.
It's too much technology for you this morning, huh?
It is always too much technology for me.
Yeah.
as I like to say, ich hasse Technik. And
Also, in proper morning show fashion, we are only in our sweats.
Oh yeah.
Because it's too early. It's too early for proper attire.
Proper attire is totally overrated.
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't have to watch our attire anymore.
No. It moved over there, so they moved things. Yeah, Saturday. Here we go.
Things were moved in a world.
Oh damn! I totally forgot the major 7 jam session that we had during breath.
We had you do the scrolling, I do the talking.
Thank you.
We had a really awesome jam session with Major 7 guys. And who are playing to us through the magic of the internet, live from. We actually had 2 people from the US in there. We had one guy from Spain, one guy from Portugal, Genio, one guy from Belgium, 2 folks from Germany, and I think that was it. I hope I didn't.
We probably did.
I hope my count was
a lot
right.
of people from all over the world.
Yeah,
let's sum it up like that.
We had people from everywhere, kind of joining their MIDI streams.
They don't cross their streams. That's fine.
That's right. Just meeting at the server. The server sent it back to us, and we got to enjoy a great jazzy concert for an hour.
Yeah.
And you apparently loved it to bits because
I remember the chat exploding.
Yeah, the chat was exploding while they were playing, and it was just beautiful and morningy.
Yeah, we had the shader showdown. We already talked about that. That was fun. A bit of demo show with the Meteorix laureate screening, and then more and more compos. And these are the compos that dojoe can read for you right there.
I am going to read from the screen. We had an Ansiansky-Petsky compo with a lot of high quality entries. We had old school music where our
2 mind-blowing C64 SID entries
our brains exploded.
That were I don't know technically, but there must have been a lot of sampling somehow in there, but I don't know how it works.
Some extreme SID trickery. I mean, especially Elman has released. He released an entire SID-based house/techno album in 2019.
Okay.
SID Chip Club. Check it out. It is really awesome. And so we kind of know that he can do this, but every time he does something like this, our brain just explodes all over.
It was like I had to triple check if it's actually SID, because it did sound totally not SID, but still kind of. And it was awesome. I loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
Really cool stuff. We went on with the photo compo, or as we like to call it these days, the nipple compo.
The nipple compo.
And we had a really cool 3D compo.
So it was a good start into this new compo. It was just 4 entries.
Yeah, we had just 4 entries. It was the first time we ran the compo.
But all of them very good.
All of them were really cool, very funny. The presentation, really big kudos to the folks who recorded the presentation video, because really just the way the models were presented and rotated and zoomed into details, that was really well done, and presented the models very well. So I have very high hopes for
next
this
year,
compo
or for any other party who might want to pick this up, because it's an awesome opportunity for 3D artists who, as I think Okkie or somebody put it into perspective last time, because the demo scene produces much more music and graphics assets that can ever be put in a demo.
Yeah,
and so having individual competitions for that, especially for the 3D folks, that should really encourage people to produce more.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more 3D compos coming in the future.
Yeah, then we had the animation video compo, or as we call it, the butt compo.
Yes. Wurstgetränk, we love your bum. It is glorious.
It is definitely glorious, and it didn't have anything at all to do with what happened afterwards during the 64K combo.
Yes.
Well, we don't talk about that now. We have a segment where we can discuss something like this a bit later. Yeah.
Did you say laser?
Laser.
Definitely laser.
Definitely laser. I remember
lasers.
Dear God.
I remember deer lasers.
Dear God, lasers. Yeah. 64K, that was a highlight.
Holy crap! Yes, there were so many entries, so many great entries in there.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember the one from FNS Cat.
Oh yeah, he was in the compo studio yesterday as well, but
cool.
I was falling asleep, so I didn't quite listen to it.
Yeah, that's too bad. I saw him getting invited, but I didn't join the compo studio. But I would have been, I would be interested to see what he was saying. We might have a recording of that because it was going through.
I think so.
scenes.
Yeah, I'm sure we do. So yeah, that was totally fresh, and I kind of adored the self-deprecation he put in there. That was just enhancing the experience because it was by no means anything but awesome.
And
it was nothing bad. It was fantastically executed in my opinion.
And also the rendering style and the overall
crisp,
style and the music. I was thinking like, wow, this guy is essentially just doing. He's essentially doing Logic Coma just all rolled into one person.
Yeah. And in JavaScript.
And that's
which is not sure if it's a punishment for him to do it in JavaScript.
He should made it sound like it.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that was super fresh. Yeah, then we had the first ever new in 64K with the Dear God who lasered down everything, and even our stream.
Man, and
it was glorious. I loved it.
Glorious is the right word. Yeah. It looked really glorious. And we had an entry from Conspiracy. We guess using their new engine.
Because it was
it was titled Clean Slate.
Yeah.
And
let's just assume it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looked freaking gorgeous.
You saw it. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
so only half of it. Yeah.
The level of polish was out of this world.
I remember seeing a lot of very detailed modeling.
Exactly. Yeah. The fidelity.
The tape. There was a light bulb. That's what I remember.
A coin.
A coin. Oh yeah, the coin with writing and everything on it. And that was
in
awesome.
Demo We Trust.
In Demo We Trust. What's one scene coin? So yeah, 64K. That was certainly, as we all always hope, a good compo.
Yeah. We had Pixter and Lena presenting us with a beautiful DJ set by Wake. DJ and VJ set.
DJ and VJ, Pixter and Lucid.
Lucid is her nickname.
Is the scene handle. Yeah. Lena is the real name. Yeah. And again, sorry for not remembering your name. It was we were riding so high on adrenaline after what happened. It was by no means intentionally, just a brain freeze.
Yeah, my thing is always I suck at names. I really suck at names. I remember the person. I remember what the person is like and how the person behaves, and I have like the mental image of who the person is and what they're like when I interact with them. But the name just completely escapes me, and it happens to me with all people.
Story of my life, Wayfinder.
I know, right?
Then. Oh, the last compo block. There was a long one, a really long one.
Long compo block is long.
Yeah.
We started out with the
Amiga intro. Oh yeah, with your nice impromptu, totally not planned.
It was a well-oiled diskette drive. This just slid in.
Just slid through. Slid through the Amiga.
You didn't hear the clunk at the end.
So yeah, Amiga intro, I think a lot of entries.
Yep.
I must admit, I had to focus on other things, so I didn't watch a lot of them.
We were both
but I remember the last couple of them, and there was great stuff in there, definitely. Yeah. Then the 4K.
That completely slid past me.
Yeah.
Except
the last entry that we watched.
The last entry that we. LJ,
it was fantastic. But let's not play favorites because I'm sure everybody else did a great job as well. But yeah, I remember that entry in definitely because it was also something fresh and crisp, and I love hearing Purix music because he does way too little music. Is that the correct English pronunciation?
I think yes, little.
Yeah. Teeny bit. Winzig kleiner Lebensraum. Oh, speaking of teeny bit.
Right. Good segue.
Wait, I can do this. 265. It's not 56. Yeah, 265 bytes. 60. No, it's wrong. I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. I can't do it. You do powers of 2 from now on.
I do powers of 2. I have to calculate in my head. 256.
Why do I have problems with that? I think it's because I'm an idiot.
It's right there on the freaking screen, man.
But it's not typed out in English, you know. I'm not a rocket scientist.
Sorry. 265.
Nein, das ist falsch.
Ah, damn.
Oh ja, tiny intro. Tiny intro.
96.
So richtig gar nicht. 80 ist 80.
80, you're right.
256.
Oh, something.
Let's call it tiny intro.
Yes, let's move away from our from an inaptitude to speak.
Any language is basically. So yeah, tiny intro. We were rickrolled.
Yes. That must have been the tiniest rickroll ever. Thank you for that.
Sure. Yeah. I remember reading a slide. Wait for it. It's like, okay, nothing much happening. And then,
wait for what?
And then yeah, we we waited so long. We were rickrolled in 250 tiny intro style, bite size style.
Oh, bite size. We have a few bites right there.
Yeah, but we have to talk as well. So I'm not sure if.
Yeah, we can take turns eating later.
Eating, yeah.
Well,
or we can just ignore the audience and.
Hello.
Last combo of the evening.
Old school demo.
Old school demo. And again, a lot of entries, a lot of variety in platform.
A shit ton of entries.
And the variety was, we had Amstrad, we had obviously the C64s, we had a BBC Micro, I think, Atari ST.
Oh, yeah.
WonderSwan.
WonderSwan.
Yeah, you missed that. You were rehearsing your DJ set for tomorrow.
That must have been St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right?
I think so.
Only Halsey does WonderSwan. Thank you.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. So incredible variety. I don't think we had this kind of variety for quite some time, but I might be wrong. But I enjoyed it thoroughly. And then there was, I don't need this anymore. Oh no, I might need this again later. And then we had
Party.
Party.
Three DJs.
Three DJs on
3Js.
on 7 floors.
With lasers.
With lasers, and the first one, Messi, accompanied by the Shader Jam.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we had Mac.
Mac with an A.
With an A. It's metal dots.
Mac.
It's still Mac. Mac with metal dots. Like
we had.
You know. No, that's. God. I don't language and I don't digits. Well, it has something to do with counting.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't have Mac on earlier, because then we could have said we had the return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. Forget it.
No, I'm too brain.
It's from the 90s. You're too young for this.
You wish. Yeah, and then we had another one of the coerced turbo analysis sets.
Yeah.
They snuck our way into our DMs. They slid into our DMs basically, aggressively.
They did us on stage.
Yeah. On you with stage.
Yeah, they did on you. They did on us with stage.
Yeah. So that was yesterday. That is a lot to unpack, actually. So it's very good also for us to reiterate through this. Let's see what's going to happen today. We have a couple of more minutes to recap. No, not to. Is it pre-cap? If we, I mean, we recap something because we're not pre-capping it. We're previewing it.
I think in our case everything is madcap.
Mm-hmm. I will use this keyboard to hit you at some point.
Thank you.
So yeah, lots of stuff going on today. We have
an interview.
an interview.
Yeah, we are going to have guests. On later in a few minutes. Actually,
Not later, in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
in about
yeah.
10 minutes, we will have 4 guests. Or 5 guests even.
Yes.
We have with us here Ziphoid and Okkie.
We have Weyland and Hoffman.
And RC55, and we're going to discuss
The trials and tribulations of running parties online.
which is a very fresh topic.
Yes,
since yesterday.
very on point.
Because there are some challenges involved with running a party online.
That we just found out about.
We knew it, but it got more recent, more like a current thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to talk about that for quite a bit. But then,
after that,
then we have some compos.
Well,
no,
first we're going to
have
be waking up with anal.
Turbo.
Their words, not ours.
Okay, it's actually the word. Is that the name of their set?
Well, it was the name of their corresponding set, I think, a year previously.
Okay, we are Turbo Analysis again with another morning set. We are being told it is mellow, morningy, probably something less than
Like
200 BPM.
Yeah, drone.
So like mellow music.
Like ambient drone music.
Yeah. And then it's time for the first compos, but actually it's basically time for all the rest of the compos. We have it's Sunday. I don't want to think about it, that revision is over soon, but we have a lot of compos today.
I wouldn't call it soon because there's still an entire day
in front of us.
Full of content.
And it's gonna be probably, hopefully, incredibly, fantastically, amazingly good. Lee. We're from Switzerland.
Good Lee.
Yeah. So lots of compos coming up. And we have a seminar on the mainstream as well this evening.
Yep, about the demo
the-
scene being UNESCO World Heritage.
Yeah, for whatever that's worth. But I'm pretty sure it's a great initiative.
And I have to say, I think it's really good that we're showing this on the main screen
exactly.
because I, for one, I'm going like, okay, what's the big deal? And I am really interested. That it has to be a big deal, but I don't know the details of it. So I'm really glad that somebody's going to explain it to me. I want to know.
I love the idea.
Yeah.
But it needs to be publicized, basically.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of publicity out there, but I think revision mainstream, not mainstream, is a great opportunity to inform a lot of people about it. And there will be, I think, 40 or 50 minutes seminar about that, or an open discussion that they had. So yeah, we have to look forward to that. And then we have the big compos in the evening. And then we have even more music.
More music?
I think we have more music.
I'm going to get a music overload this weekend.
Yeah?
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good?
Yes. I like my music overload.
Overlord.
I, for one, welcome my music overlords.
So, we have a couple of minutes left. Dojo, you want to grab a bite to eat? And I ramble on? Or
I don't mind if I do.
Yeah, what do you got there? Looks like some kind of spread.
Yeah, some Alaska Zalax.
Brain spread.
It looks very brainy, yeah.
That's disgusting to show this on national television.
Well, I, for one, welcome my pink goo.
Bon appetit. Fun crew. Yeah.
It's funny because my last name is Fenkus. Sorry.
Oh, he's so full of puns. It hurts. It hurts my tiny pink goo. Yeah, we're still a bit out of it from all the things that happened. Especially, we were awake for so long. Or at least it feels like it. I think normally during revision, I can usually sneak into the sleeping hall and get 15 minutes of shut-eye sometime during the day at the EWAG, because I just do. But this time, or here, it's a different atmosphere because it's the studio is in the living room and there's always the things going on, and it's much easier to follow the compos. Well, I wouldn't say easier, but it's more convenient watching the compos on the TV. Not that I don't love the big screen, but it's just like when you're outside of the earwerk, you can easily miss a compo or an entry. It's much harder to do that in the living room where the music's blaring and everything. And I just, there's music playing. I get around the corner, look at it, and listen to it, and then I don't get my power nap.
Yeah, and it's funny. I mean, you have the sofa right here. You could just lie down. Yeah, but you don't.
But it's too interesting. It's too interesting. Yep. And there's always people to chat with, and it was chock full of events and distractions. I wouldn't say distractions, but distractions, but positive distractions. So yeah. So that is what was happening yesterday. I see a couple of our interview guests are already there. I think we need a couple more minutes. And there's also gonna be a seminar at 11:30.
11:30 is very soon, and that's what.
Let me see what seminar this is.
Do we have this in the cheat sheet?
It's not there. Here it is. Why yet another DAW project?
Digital audio workstation.
So
like Cubase or Reaper or music production software.
Okay. I thought it was like sub-DAW. I know music. I know a lot of things. N-O, not no. I don't know a lot of things. So DAW, is it like pronounced like that, or do you say like DAW?
That I actually don't know. I think I would pronounce it DAW just because DAW sounds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and work with my DAW to make some music now.
So if you want to watch that, go over to our seminar stream that is still on Twitch, and have a look there. I think I know about this project. I saw a couple of things on Facebook and YouTube about it, so it's going to be interesting if you're a music person. Yeah. So, and I am told we have guests, so I guess we can switch over. Oh, I can let you.
And I'm full of puns, huh?
Yeah, full of puns. Yeah, I'm also full of pants.
That too.
Okay, let's switch over then, and you'll finish your bite to eat, and then let's see.
Hello.
Wow, that is a lot of people. Wow. Good morning.
Hello. Morning.
Good morning. Starting from the top left, we have Ziphoid. Then Okkie.
Yes, that
then
would
it's
be me.
Hey Okkie.
Hello. Good to see you all.
Then it's us, Weyland. Thank you, joining us from Sweden. Also same as Ziphoid. And then we have Hoffman and RC55 from the UK. So, how are you all doing?
A happy and jolly bunch, right?
Yeah. We are also totally not tired. No. You must be the UK people. It's how late is it at your place? It's like an hour early or two now. I'm confused with time.
It's an hour early. Ian, you're on mute.
And in an hour early. Okay, that's that's still
not too bad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm at that age where I wake up at 7:30 every day anyway. So.
Okay. Well, then that's nothing bad for you anyway. Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining us on this glorious what feels like very early morning. Mm-hmm. Hope you have your coffee, caffeine ready, or had something to eat already. So yeah, we have an interesting topic to discuss. And Okkie, you and Axel and me, we talked about this in one of the Design podcasts a couple of weeks ago, like the online party challenge.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And challenges there were, I guess.
There's always challenges and new ones popping up and having to be resolved. The idea of this discussion was like getting a different perspective, because I only know my perspective from Revision. Dojo and I, we know only that, or the team. But a lot of online parties popped up last year. and I'm pretty sure the challenges were sometimes similar, sometimes different, and I'm pretty sure many of the visitors or viewers they don't know about these challenges, and it might be interesting to get some kind of insight and a perspective about that.
So I wonder where.
But can we start with the let's say not the elephant in the room, but the deer in the room?
Yeah, sure. The deer, yeah.
That we got.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, online party organizing is a bit tough. I know that because I've been part of it as well. But when it comes to these kind of unpreparable things like yesterday, how do you guys feel? I mean, you expressed it a bit before we started this one, but what was the amount, your stress level yesterday?
It was actually, I wasn't, I have to admit, I wasn't too involved in the resolution. I was just standing by and watching and listening to the other folks, especially D.Fox and Drogvin, discussing with people live. But our back channel Discord was very, very active, and people were not talking over each other, but people were discussing ideas and options and trying to gather information. But it was all, to me, it seemed very calm and organized. So people,
we were very calm.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we didn't prepare for something like this, but streaming video is a solved issue, so to speak, like technically.
Yeah.
And we have a studio where all the feed goes out. We basically have a stream that the data is all there, the production value is quality is there. We just have to get it somewhere. Mm-hmm. So there were we were spitballing ideas like going to Amazon or like going to Discord, but that's not enough. I think only a couple of people can join, like 100 or something. And we discussed going to SceneSet. But John, you were a bit concerned about your servers.
Yeah, I mean, we could not really handle the amount of load. It's not really prepared for that. Audio streaming, no problem. Video streaming, well, people tend to want quite the high bandwidth. We have the bandwidth, we just don't have the server power.
Mm. Yeah, so I think we had about 10, 15 minutes of like open discussion about what to do. Several people were exploring different angles on where we could go.
Yeah,
what it would cost, for example, if we're going to Amazon.
Yeah, but it wasn't frantic. It was,
I don't.
To me, it's
I don't
very
remember it being frantic.
So yeah, that was pretty cool.
I'm sorry, but yeah, because we knew this is a problem we can solve. We just didn't know if it can be solved like in an hour or in 2 or 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. But it was never a doubt in my mind that we cannot solve this.
Yeah, it was nothing like, okay, shit, revision's over now.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that is due to the experience of the whole team that we didn't panic. I'm pretty sure the public did panic a lot. So maybe from the side of the rest of you, how was this perceived? Because we were totally out of it, because we had to be on the back channels and see what we can do. So we didn't follow any of the discussions or the whatever went on. So do you have any insight for us? Because that's very interesting. Mm.
I'd like to start real quick because I was there and it was chaos. As soon as Twitch was removed, the chat was removed. So everybody jumped onto Discord. The Discord chat exploded and was unreadable. Everybody joined the voice channel in the beer garden where they were yelling over each other what to do. And people were in panic, mostly like, what happened? Why was it bad? And people started like discussing, and then it calmed down when people were like, I think it was Lambda Core posting like, hey, we're looking at things, and it's kind of like from the revision team, like we're doing it, okay, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine. And I think indeed everybody else was like, it's a demo scene, it will be fine, they'll sort it out. We'll just wait for now. And people were mostly also cursing at Twitch and really wondering,
which is understandable in that instance. Yeah,
I'm blaming Wurstgetrank's butt.
So do we.
That's fine. I love his butt.
But how are you guys preparing for this now then, Weyland? And let's start with you, Weyland. Edison is in the planning as well for the summer. How will you attack this vector in this sense?
Oh, yeah, this is not a problem that one wants to have, for sure. I'm not sure yet. I mean, the first few Edisons back in those days, we did use SceneSet for streaming. And I mean, I guess the big reason for using Twitch or YouTube or whatever big platform is for like reaching out and marketing the demo scene in a better way. And I think we can still use those as tools for marketing, but we certainly need a platform where we can express ourselves however we want, without breaking any laws, maybe. And yeah, this has always been a fear of mine. This is a bit like if you don't have backups, you probably won't have your like server farm getting hit by a truck or something. But once that happens, well, if you don't have backups, you're kind of fucked, I guess. And yeah. But you're often betting on it not happening at all. And now we've seen that it can happen. And so we need to plan for this and have multiple platforms available for streaming.
And also, I mean, we at SceneSet, we do already have a truck. So that's already been taken care of. So it should be a good move in that sense.
That's true.
And how about you guys in the UK?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a bit of a shock yesterday, to be honest. Obviously checking the chat and everything, it was well, completely and utterly unreadable, as Okkie said. But I just kind of, I was thinking, well, I'm sure they'll sort it out. And I saw on Twitter that Lars had popped in, and I thought, well, it looks like we're probably going to get a resolution fairly soon. So I ran off and made some dinner and then started to miss the 64K intro compo because you guys had sorted it out so damn quickly. So, I guess from our perspective, I mean, we are using Twitch, or we did for our last party. We don't really know what's going on with the pandemic and whether we would be able to or not hold it in person. I don't know. We haven't even had that discussion yet. I don't think, have we, Rory?
No, I've been thinking about whether we should or do a hybrid party or there's different approaches, because we got a studio that we used for the last party, and I was thinking, could we invite a few people there, or do we use the hall still? But because of travel restrictions, we're really struggling to see what's going to be effective, kind of thing. So we still have to sort it all out, really.
I think it sounds like, I mean, the studio might be quite a nice idea, actually, if we can get a few of us down there for the core crew, at least. Kind of like what the guys at Revision have. I mean, was it Nova last year? It only had Rory and Chris at the studio, and everyone else was remote. It didn't. I mean, it didn't feel like it was particularly different to what we would normally do, other than the fact that we couldn't see each other. So, I mean, I don't know how you felt about it. I mean, for me, it was still presenting, but just to a small camera rather than a room full of people.
I felt that it was like we're really good at. We've established a good team for workflow. So when productions come in, we're resizing them, playlisting them, and all that kind of thing, and test them all in advance. So usually we just get, sorry, it's echoing like mad. It's really to my head. So we just get all the tracks lined up and everything rendered offline as soon as possible, and then we just offline as much as we possibly can and spend all the time getting everything prepared for the competitions when they all arrive in. But yeah, it seemed to go okay. But we tend to do that in person as well. So usually Ian would look after all the music entries. I would do some of the graphic stuff and resize the teletext stuff. And anyone who's at the party, we'd say, can you provide us with a capture? And then we have it all ready to playlist up and show. for the most important thing for us was to not have any interruptions, and we didn't take for granted the viewers' time and make sure that we stick to schedule as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, our schedule usually when we're in person party is because if we go past midnight, well, we can't go past midnight because we end up with a noise curfew. So
I
think
remember that,
the last couple of years, we're probably one of the few parties that have actually run on schedule every time because we have to. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble.
That is a similar
Sometimes
thing that we have
deadlines
at
helpful,
Outline,
right?
where we have to be done at 11:30, 12 max. So we also try to optimize our competitions, have them earlier in the day, and try to be. And usually at Outline we fail, and it's always somewhat of a mess, but it's part of the charm. Shout out to Havoc, I love you.
Weyland, how did you manage to do Edison last year online? Was it?
Yeah, I mean, we threw together. Yeah, continue.
You already did a lot of streaming or video mixing, and you have a lot of experience with vMix before the pandemic hit. So I guess was the transition hard for you to go from normal party to online party?
Honestly, no. As you said, these sorts of streaming events is something we've been doing in other non-profit organizations before, and we usually stream everything anyway. I think the problem was trying to encourage crew and recruiting crew to actually want to help out because it's not the same thing. People are not nearly as motivated to organize an online party, at least not up here. But we got some awesome help.
And regarding that, I mean, how many people involved would you say, Weyland, compared to the on-site organizing were you for last year, for instance? How many people are involved otherwise, usually?
A lot less, which is great, of course. I mean, we were two main organizers, and then we had a main artist who did the music jingles and graphics. Shout out to Figelhus. And of course, shout out to FS Freak, who was the other main organizer. And then we had our usual crew, maybe 2-3 people helping out. I always forget to thank everyone involved, but it was maybe like a fifth of the normal crew. Our problem is, I guess, like most other parties, just setting up the venue takes a lot of time, a lot of stage work. And it was really nice not having to clean it up afterwards.
Yeah, that's a good win in that aspect. I mean, I know because I've been part of the revision organizing that the revision organizer staff is quite reduced, but there's still quite a bit of people involved. How many was it this year, D.Fox and Dojo?
I can only guess because I don't have the actual number of helpers this year or organizers, but it is much more than last year because last year we had such an impromptu party, or like the switchover. We had like 3.5 to 4 weeks. I mean, we discussed the idea when the pandemic hit, kind of, and well, it was just like an idea. Like worst case, it won't happen, but can we do streaming? And people were like, yeah, sure, we can do streaming, but let's not talk about that until it's actually necessary.
Yeah, and then 3 weeks before the party, it became necessary.
And so last year we had the problem that since we were cramped for time, there wasn't enough time to get most of the organizers up to speed and distribute like the responsibilities in a manner that would be interesting and fair to everybody. Cyrix talked about this yesterday in our segment, that we now have a shift system. We have lots more people involved. Last year was just very impromptu. Like, okay, we're on Twitch. We have 2,000 people on Twitch. We might need a moderator or 2 or 3. And people just jumped in from the Orga team and moderated. But it wasn't thoroughly planned. It was just happening. I think this year we have at least twice the amount of people working on it. I think last year maybe it was, I will probably be lying. So maybe last year was 20 to 30, and this year I'm pretty sure it's like 40 to 50 who are more or less involved because we have new roles for organizers. Instead of our hospitality service, the info desk, the info team. We have now the moderators or the stream QA. We have a stream QA. There's people just watching the stream,
and checking for
reporting
glitches,
audio levels,
audio bugs,
and everything. So those are new roles. They might not be the most exciting ones, but we were able to involve much more people this time. Sadly, not all of them. And I know it can be very frustrating for organizers, especially if they are used to being on the party, helping people, doing things. They're sitting now at home, and maybe they don't even have anything to do, or they have something to do, but it is a different level of, I would say, personal fulfillment that's happening there.
In about in Nova or at Nova, how many organizers are you at usually? I mean, you're not that many in the organizing crew usually, right?
I think sort of there's Dopefish, Ian, Chris, who does loads of the video stuff, but we get a lot of input from people who are contributing. Sort of Laguba and Havoc does loads of stuff as well. But for the most part, I think it's probably just 4 or 5 of us mostly. Polynomial also helps out as well, but mostly we're just sort of churning through entries that come in, and Chris does a lot of the video stuff and VJing and all the OBS handling, and that's probably the biggest load of work that goes on. But everything is just keeping it ticking over and staying in touch with people.
Yeah, I think.
It's not too much.
A smaller party, you don't have that overhead of 1,000 people to look after for 4 days. We've got maybe 100 if we've done well for effectively 2 and a bit days. That's not to say that it's not without its challenges, because we've dealt with a few things in the past, haven't we, Rory? So
we had one of the streaming box, the power supply kept cutting out like right in the middle of Shader Showdown, so basically the whole stream went down about 3 times. So it was just like, Jesus Christ, got it booted in 12 seconds because we're just like back on stream key start, so then it carries on. And I think we peaked at about 270 viewers at one point. It went down 3 times. Yeah, that was a bit of a sweaty time for everyone because it was just this janky old box that I had, because in the studio we had about 9 monitors, video mixers, quite a complex setup of audio inputs and streams and things like that. So having it all running together was a bit of a miracle, but it just seemed to work. But our streaming box, that's going in the bin. We could definitely replace that for next year.
Speaking of peaking, I was just informed that our stream via the CCC yesterday actually peaked at 13.34 gigabits per second. That was the amount of bandwidth that we used. And I
hope we have some left for tonight.
And I would have wished for 2 more viewers to jack up the bandwidth by another 30 megabits.
I see. Yeah.
That was quite impressive that yesterday, as soon as you guys switched to the CCC during the 64K compo, I think at one point we were immediately at 3,000 viewers again. So
I think we were quickly up at, from what I heard, is most of them migrated over directly. I think we kind of restarted the 64K combo with more than 2K viewers.
Yeah, and the link spread like wildfire.
Yeah, I mean, we posted it everywhere. Everybody was, I think the link was retweeted 400 times yesterday.
Yeah, and in the Discord chat, every other message was the link.
So yeah, that worked out very well. We were obviously, it was not really a concern. I mean, what can you do? If you lose viewers, you lose viewers. It's not. I mean, it's not our goal to have as many viewers as possible. It's our goal to entertain and celebrate the demo scene. So if it's 100 people that are watching, or 1,000 or 10,000, I don't. I'm not saying I don't care, but it doesn't matter to what we're doing.
Exactly. I mean,
but it was really cool to see that most of the people, if not all, made the jump.
Yep. And yeah, as you say, we'd rather have 1,000 fewer viewers than not be able to show Wurstgetränks Bam on TV.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is our priority. I would say, definitely.
We were talking about this before starting the show. You have some crumbs over there, my dear.
I'll know more.
that it is. I mean, Twitch is a great platform. They offer a lot. It's very easy to use. You have a great outreach there. The discoverability is great. But the problem is, we demo sceners, we are not used to being censored. And in my opinion, censoring something that is normal for us or like accepted in our community is unacceptable to have in a partner, like in a streaming partner. I mean, the last years we didn't have a problem, even though I'm pretty sure we showed similar things.
Yeah.
But I guess they were a bit trigger happy this time. But we have to find an alternative if COVID goes on, or like for future streaming events or parallel real life and the streaming bit that we usually have at Revision. We might need to think about moving away permanently because this was not fun. And it's also, I mean, the least fun for the viewers who want to watch something.
Yep.
And then being disrupted and until things are getting back on track, it can be very infuriating, especially if you think about, let's say next year we have a normal Revision again, and we lose our stream, but the party won't stop. This year we were lucky because the party stopped when the stream stopped.
And it paused for an hour.
It paused for an hour.
Went on.
Which would never happen, obviously, if we were on site.
Yep.
And so people would miss a lot of things. And I think for that we need to have some kind of a backup solution or like a primary solution.
I was going to say, and it should be a backup. Primary should allow us to stream whatever we think is acceptable.
And about that, I mean, about the fact that, yes, the party will still go on if you're on the site. How do you think the plans will change in the future when it comes to online broadcasting? I mean, this is something that I've been part of. I've actually got told by some party organizer at some point when I was about to broadcast from some party, say that don't do the stream too good because people won't join the party if they can stay at home. I'm not going to disclose which country this is in, but just to not bum those sceners down. But I mean, people are expecting more and more from an online event nowadays. And how do you feel that will change? Will your focus, if we're back at the EVAC next year, how much focus will it be to give the people at home this kind of entertainment, as well as managing the forces on site? I'm starting with you guys again because we're into this now. D.Fox and dojoe.
I guess that's a discussion we need to have with the streaming team. I think we all learned a lot in these past 13 months of doing online events, and I'm pretty sure the streaming team would like to have the production values similar to what we have this year. Obviously, we cannot have a tight of a schedule as we have here, so there will be depending a lot on what's happening on site, what delays or non-delays we have there, and it will be a different experience. But I think the production values could be similar, obviously with not us on the couch, but people on stage, but you also have the opportunity to have lots of visitor interactions, like with the cameras. Maybe I think Ziphoid, we did a couple of years ago. I think one of the first revisions we did also try to have some on-site interviews that we were streaming or like publishing on SceneSide back then. I remember something vaguely, And we didn't have time for that in a couple of years. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, the stress with doing that on site is to actually find time in the schedule if it's not really planned. So therefore, I do understand the problem of actually fitting the schedule together. It becomes a bit more loose on site.
But I see definitely that the streaming team basically. It is more or less the same people that ran the stream at the EVAC. We have a couple of more people there and divided responsibilities now. I don't see this team doing anything different. I mean, I can't speak for them as well right now, but I hope they will keep it up and keep it as good as possible. And to get in your what you said earlier about don't make the stream too good, people won't come to the real thing. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean,
certain people might.
Sure, but if you see what's happening on the Twitch chat or on Discord, is like people are yearning to go back to a real party.
Yeah.
And it might just be the pandemic, but still, I'm sure that goes for all the events. I mean, a stream can only be so good. It's not a personal experience. And that's not going to change. I mean, that is going to change if we go back to real life parties, and then I'm pretty sure that won't be a huge issue. I mean, there are calls or like concerned people about COVID is killing the scene, like the real life scene. We will only have online parties anymore.
Sure as soon as we all gather back in person, everyone's going to be like, yeah, this is the real thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe a question for the others. How do you are planning to go back to real parties, I hope, as well?
Absolutely. I mean, one thing I was thinking with Revision, if it was possible, was to have more crowd shots and things like that between productions and audience reactions. And you know, when you had like on MTV and someone go to a festival and pass a mic to people and just get some reactions. I know there was a bit of that, but I like that kind of focus of making it seem like it's really focused on being an in-person event. So I like the crowd noise and stuff like that, but also having reaction shots to productions and things like that. Just to emphasize that, more like a music festival style production, because I'm seeing a lot of the Dream State and all that kind of stuff, all these trance festivals, and how they really focus on the crowd and the social aspect and smiling faces and things like that. And I think that would be quite good. Although I've been to so many revisions in person, I don't really watch the stream because I'm there. So you might be doing a bit of that already.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the production team is making notes or laughing at the suggestion, because we already do that. Because I also have no idea how the stream looks like, because we're all on site.
That's cool.
I think there might be maybe a topic for in a bit, because, like I said, interviews and smiling faces, there is obviously a concern about privacy. If you're having an event streamed out in the world, and there might be people in a crowd shot or in a kind of passerby close-up that are opposed to the idea of appearing somewhere.
Yeah. It's like if we have
I think that is one of the dangers of having too much people interaction on the stream, because it is definitely a privacy issue, especially in Germany. I'm pretty sure it's around the world. It's the same thing.
And it's also kind of like a chilling effect, if you will, because if there are people running around with cameras all the time, folks are going to feel watched, and they will behave differently than when there's nobody running around with cameras.
So that might be
right. But and just to talk about other things about online parties that are happening last year, like Revision accepting remote entries. We've got a lot of entries from all over the world. Will that still happen when it's an on-location party again? Because famously, Revision doesn't accept remote entries because there's so many at the party.
That is a fantastic question. I would love to do this, but we have to discuss this with the compo team and in general, because there's also a lot of danger involved. We will see after these 2 years now how many entries we actually got, how much it differs from the actual party. And I am not entirely opposed to the idea, but in the end, it's the compo team's call if they want to do this. Remote entries, same as in the online edition, we will only be able to do this if I think we'll have a participation fee, as we have in the past 2 years. And as I think we said in the opening, this is not because we need the money. It's as a deterrent from spamming entries.
Yeah, we're gonna be. Otherwise, we're gonna be drowning in entries.
Yeah.
We already are.
We already are, yeah. But I love the idea. I cherish the entries last year and this year that came from places that have never been represented at Revision. We have entries from China. We have entries from Japan again. I mean, obviously, some people from Japan come to Revision from time to time, but it is a different cadence in terms of the amount of entries that are coming in. Mm-hmm. We have entries from South America. We have a lot of entries from Russia and the US, and that is what makes this idea worth thinking about.
Yeah, that brings a lot of extra diversity in.
Yeah, and that is something that would be very good and important. But we have to discuss this with the compo team. I'm for it.
Fair enough.
But in the end, it won't be my decision. It will be a group decision, and then
For the poor comp organizers that have to cut them up and check them and watch all the end.
Exactly, because that's actually a good point, because we get so many entries, we had to set the deadlines earlier. What I'm pretty sure what we will do next year in the on-site event is opening up the entry upload earlier, because that is a huge time saver for the compo orgas. And there's no harm in having the entry upload open a week before the party.
And now that we have the cloud-based Party Meister.
We have the cloud-based Party Meister. We have people who have a ticket, who have the access code, which is also their access key. They can already upload stuff, and so basically, organizers, when we're during the build-up of the party, people can already start organizing entries and looking through stuff. Yeah,
It saves a lot of time. And I wonder for the other party organizers in the chat, like, did you guys see an influx in remote entries or more entries than you would used to get doing a remote party, a digital party?
Yeah, I mean, we allowed remote entries anyway, but we did get quite an influx. I don't know whether that was because we'd kind of picked up a bit of momentum over the last year or so. So there was kind of more interest in the party, and we were going to get some. We thought we probably would have. It was already booked as an in-person, so I think we were expecting slightly higher numbers than we normally were. So that kind of contributed to, I think, the number of entries that we ended up having uploaded into the system.
Yeah, and I think we ended up in about the same amount of entries as the on-site version. We got a few new from new places. I think we had an entry from South America, for instance, that we would never have gotten otherwise. But we also got I would say a bit fewer entries from the normal participants at Edison. But
weird,
the online,
maybe the time is different as well. But it's awesome that people indeed from South America and from Asia can participate easier. And yeah, that's because did Edison usually allow remote entries, or was it only party entries as well?
Yeah, no, it was only party entries.
Right.
So this was the first time, and I think we're gonna keep it. But just as revision, we're probably gonna have an entry fee.
Yeah, it's that buffer to kind of keep the spamming out. Like, that makes sense. It's
I mean,
good for the moderation.
And also, I mean, if we're not just restricting our remote viewers for submitting entries, what about not allowing remote entries, but allowing remote voting? I mean, now you have Party Meister Online that actually works well with live voting and stuff. When the live voting works, I'm not going to bug you about that, but would that be another level of things that you can actually allow people to vote even though they have not submitted anything, or
basically we
ticket?
We do allow this for quite some years. The people with the at-home ticket, they could vote. That was always the case, like for a couple of years. But yeah, maybe like a simple voting ticket, which is basically the same what we do now with this year, with last year with the participation tickets. Why not just allow people to vote? I mean, I would like that concept as well. It is. I think we have to have a discussion with the scene if the visitors don't feel, or like the authors, if they are being judged more by people not at the party versus people at the party who get the atmosphere, who get the feeling that the demo has on the big screen. I'm not sure how that will impact a bias in voting. So I think we have to talk to a couple of creators and ask their opinion about that. Because yeah, online voting, that's great. It's technically totally not an issue, but I think we have to take into account how people feel about that in terms of I showed my idea on big screen. The vote that the guy next to me gives me is much more important to me than a vote 500 people on the couch give me.
I'm important to you.
You are definitely important to me.
I bring you coffee.
So yeah, what does the rest think about that? Because yeah, online voting technically solved, easy thing to do. But yeah,
I was just curious, kind of, because if you have done it a few years already, what does that, in terms of the data, what does that look like in terms of a split? Do the people at home vote in a similar way to the people at the party, or do you get a different skew on that?
the thing is, we had so few online voters. I think it was like in like maybe 20 to 30 or maybe 40 people who bought the at-home ticket, and only a fraction of those voted. So I'm not sure if we can derive any kind of useful data from that. But let's say it didn't make a difference in the outcome usually.
Okay, so
we would need more data on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the trick is to just do it and then see how it turns out.
I mean, what we can easily do is we can differentiate between those, and worst case, if there's a complete difference, we can have technically speaking like a weight factor or something. So you can you weigh online votes less than the on-site votes, but that would be discriminating again. So that's the whole big can of worms that we can open there.
We could couple that with pounds off.
Pounds off, okay.
To add the weight factor.
Dojo here for the pounds. And
I want my scene point.
That's all I'm here for, right?
I mean,
depends on how many votes you get from the online crowd as well. So when we go back to a real party and there's a lot of people in the hall, how many votes will still come from online? And maybe it's substantially less than you have now, because now everybody is online. So
it could easily. I could easily see like 3 times the amount of votes coming from online than from on-site. I mean, it's not realistic probably, but in the future it might be something that's happening.
And you're also gonna have to think about what the rest of the scene thinks about it.
That's what I mean. I mean, Hoffman, how do you feel as a demo maker, as a intro maker and musician? How would you feel about being? What would you like more? Being judged by the people on site or off site, or you don't care?
To be fair, I just want to be in the room again with everyone. Where the votes come from and where the position is. I mean, it's don't get me wrong, it's lovely to win, but at the same time, that's not what we do it for. I do it so I can feel good in a hall with a load of my friends, and hopefully they enjoy it. I think that's probably why. I don't. It's hard as well, because I suppose if you think of some of the, say, more controversial wins that you do sometimes get at a party, that then obviously turns into the the obvious thread on a certain forum afterwards. You do wonder that if they weren't all at a party having a few beers with their friends, they may not have voted that way. So it's kind of, which way, it kind of cuts both ways, I think.
But that's also part of it. That whole outrage because drunk people voted for something that might actually be kind of shit, but it still won. It's part of it. That's part of the whole experience. And I think that people can be outraged. It's like, oh yeah, if sober people from home had voted, it would have been different, or you vote on technical merit. And I think it's always really difficult, because in the end, it's indeed the passionate people voting, and that can also just as easily be people from home voting for this. Let's all shit post and vote for this. So I think it's all part of it, and I like Hoffman's idea of like, I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to participate, and I can't wait, Hoffman, to tell you to get off my goddamn stage again.
I love that people take it so seriously as well. The passion's there, and I know that some people get really angry about sort of controversial productions, but the fact that people are invested in it does mean a lot underneath it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You work hard on the production, right? I mean, I can also understand if you work really hard on something and then some joke prod takes the prize, you kind of go like, really? Like, but yeah, it's also you don't control the crowd, and I think it's all coming back to that. Like, we don't like to be moderated. We don't like to tell what we have to vote for. We just, and if you tell us what to vote for, we'll vote for something else. Screw you. So it's all that whole thing is part of it, and you can be angry about it. And it's absolutely fair to be angry about it. And like, our prod was maybe better, but hey, it's the way it goes.
But I guess that's why we have the other platform where you can vote independently of the party. I mean, party feeling is always important. And Okkie, as you said, sometimes there's a joke prod that just ignites some kind of on-site common experience, it's
the shared experience.
Shared experience that is hilarious or enraging or whatever.
Yeah, it's you have to be there.
Cannot be reproduced on a stream or offline, or if you watch it like a week later on YouTube or whatever. So I think it's important to have both, like the feeling vote and the impartial vote afterwards. Not impartial, the unemotional vote later or something. Yeah. So and there will be discussions all the time. I always have been, and I think we would be diminished if we didn't have that. Controversy is kind of a thing that needs to happen to advance.
There's something to talk about.
You say controversy is part of the scene, you say. So what I saw happening yesterday, indeed. Something has to happen. But yeah, we're kind of straying from party organizing topic we initially had, which is also fine, I guess, because we're just having a good chat. But I wonder for the other party organizers as well, like other changes maybe that is like, we talked about a lot of like the in-person being at a party, and RC55 saying, well, for me, it was pretty much the same. I was still checking entries, doing things. Is there other things maybe that we call out as like, hey, I think the build-up was already cool. I think it's very nice indeed that we don't have to build up and build down as much. I guess though for revision maybe that doesn't count, as they still have a lot of stuff set up and to break down, but substantially less. And other things that maybe you guys want to comment on?
I think it did feel quite funny because it got to about 12:30 or 1 o'clock and I was like, I'm going home to bed. So you just literally walk home and go back to sleep. So I was like, all right. And then get up the next morning. It was like just very odd to kind of like, oh, I'm supposed to be having a party, but I'm going back home kind of thing. So that was a bit odd. But yeah, I mean, one thing was like leaving the after-hours stream in the hands of like Polynomial, and they were up till 5 a.m. just thinking, I don't have to do anything. I'm not worried about anyone like being a pain or just like any problems or anyone snoring too loud. It was like that.
It's calmer, yes.
Sense of caring. You have to keep an eye out and look after people when you're at the party as well, and make sure everyone's looked after. And that's all gone because everyone's at home. So it's different for sure.
Yeah, but you
still
actually have to keep an eye on people, right?
Yeah. For Addison, things maybe that are specific to the party that were different now because it was online that you guys missed or were different?
Yeah, I mean, Edison is taking place on a huge field outdoors, and people are arriving and like pitching their tents, and it's like more, it's this festival outdoor feeling that I mostly missed anyway. But what was of course awesome was like I got to sleep in my own bed, and I didn't have to like take a 1 hour drive to get there for each night.
That's our big thing.
There are like, definitely a lot of pros with the online only part.
And I think that's actually both a pro and a con. In terms of it's good to sleep in your own bed, and I enjoy having a proper bed to sleep in.
Dojoe is sleeping over here,
right over there, like 1 meter to our right.
It's worse for Dojoe at this point.
But it's
that's
still,
why it looks like it does. He just can go.
It still qualifies as.
How long have you been living there?
Since last year.
Well, most of the time of that was in the closet.
In the closet, yeah.
Standing up.
I mean, it's a good sofa. It's very sleepable.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is, part of the shitty sleeping experience at parties is part of its charm, because and I mean that it's the entirety of a party, and also the blood, sweat, and tears, and the crappy parts of the experience, they are part of the experience, they're part of the adventure, and they are part of what makes a demo party a whole different world. To me. It's like, for especially Revision, but other demo parties too, for me, they're always a refuge from the normal world. They're like this parallel universe that I can escape to. And quite honestly, also the shitty sleeping and just things being so totally different from the quote-unquote normal world, they also make part of this charm for me, this way of detaching from the rest.
Yeah,
I can agree about the whole like being detached from reality, but I am not agreeing with the shitty sleeping. A hotel is mandatory. I'm an old man, and don't take that away from me. But I wanted to actually discuss about the whole thing of online and offline, and about what happened yesterday. And D.Fox, you were saying like, oh, we weren't really stressed. We were quite calm about it. I think, was it also because you were at home and it was online? I mean, imagine at the real revision, the stream just pops out and the whole crowd stands up and goes, "What's happening?" Then there's way more stress.
I think
because everybody was guys were like, you know what?
I think it was helping. I think it was helping that we're not all there in person, being able to yell things at each other or like to each other, like in a positive way. I think if at the real revision, let's say the projector craps out, that's an issue, and I think in that case we would have a lot of loud discussions, and since this was just over voice chat, we could mute certain people. Not like that's necessary, but let me explain. We have a production we have a production voice chat where also all the studio feeds come in, and there was still Truck and Frankie talking. But they were only streamed into that channel. They weren't actually on the channel, but since the live audio stream came in there, I'd always had Frankie and Truck saying things and coming up with solutions, but they weren't part of the discussion, so we had to mute them, which is it's just a thing. And yeah, I think we were just a couple of people talking there, and I think it helped the situation that we were detached from each other, because then we had to concentrate on a solution and not yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It felt calm, like a.
And one of the downsides when it comes to running a party via voice chat, which is that usually only one person can speak at a time, and you can't have all those distributed side discussions, is now suddenly an advantage because it's more focused.
And also at revision, it would have been like at the EWAC, it would have been more complicated because. You know, every time there's a delay happening, or like the screen goes off, or there's something, people turn up the music. And it's impossible for organizers to discuss anything calmly. So it was certainly a plus being in a quiet environment to resolve this issue.
Stream goes down. D.Fox is like cranking up the Wagner and goes like, "Okay, battle plan. What are we gonna do?" But I think the last 10 minutes of this chat, I kind of want to give the party organizers in the chat a little moment to give a shout out to their own party, if that's okay with D.Fox and Dojoe, because they're on the stream now.
Sure, go ahead.
So, Weyland, Edison, what do you have in store for us this year?
Yes. No. As last year, we were really hoping that we were gonna be able to do some sort of hybrid party or some sort of on-site participation. So we have booked the venue, but I guess we're not. I'm not that convinced that's gonna happen, but I really hope so. But if not, we're gonna continue with the I think pretty great online experience we had last year. Utilize the awesome Cloudmeister for entries and voting. Shout out to D.Fox for that, because wow, this tool really makes it so easy to run a party these days. And we didn't have an announce yet for the Edison in general, but it's gonna be pirate themed because we have a gigantic outdoor bath at the site, which we wanted to try last year. And I'm a bit worried about how that's going to work with the drunk seniors all night.
Poorly.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Well, yes.
So you have a date already? You can shout out.
Oh yes, I don't even have it in my head, but it's it's mid-July, same weekend as Sommarhack. So it's like 9th to.
I could see Rory pulling up his browser to find out the date for our party.
No, that didn't happen at all.
I think it's the 9th of July to 11th.
Excellent. And for
More
I
info.
want to call it Nova. No, I don't know the name of the party. Is it Nova?
Yeah, it's still Nova. We might change it again if you like.
I want to go
Yeah.
Sundown because I've never been, which is shameful. So for this year,
never-
what do you guys have planned?
Okay, you're not serious. You've never been to Nova
It
or
always
Sundown?
happened when I had deadlines at work and I just couldn't make it. I promised Rory so many times, like I'll be there, and every time something blocked it. And then when I wanted to go, now COVID. So the next time it happens in person, I have to be there.
Yeah,
You've always had like good reasons. It's totally fine. This year we haven't really discussed it in detail. So I've booked a venue, but at the same time, our COVID restrictions in the UK are going to be different from Europe because we've got a big vaccination plan going on, and it might be that time that will completely unlock and these events will be allowed. But it'll also depend on whether people are up for going or not. Not having many international visitors is a bit of a complication, and nothing's confirmed until all the restrictions are lifted. So we'll probably do something online, but we have to play it by ear if we do a small event in person. So I think when it comes sort of June, July time, I'll ask around and say, do people want to come or not? Or should we just do something online and we'll just follow what the audience say, really?
Yeah,
But we'll stream it either way.
As long as it
We'll
happens.
probably get quite a lot of people coming from inside the UK, I think, 'cause they're pretty desperate to get back to a Nova. So, if we can do something even just for our indigenous folk, that would be really great. But yeah, I think there's going to need to be probably quite a bigger focus on the online if we can't get any of our international friends over. So it's kind of high. It sounds like we might, if we're really lucky, be able to see some of our friends again for a weekend and also spread that out to the online world as well. But we don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to get political.
If there's just like 6 of us in the hall, it'd be a bit awkward looking streaming that kind of thing. Like that was lovely.
That'd be weird.
But I think the most important part is something happens. I think last year has proven us anything is that the demo scene will never stop. We'll just keep organizing events, online events, and it was fantastic to see new events popping up as well. I didn't even get to ask the questions about what you guys think of that. Like people organizing online parties because they're like, hey, we can do this. We just need like a few people in an office building for a weekend to stream everything and drive themselves crazy. Shout out to Love Bite. And then pulling off a demo party. So yeah, the demo scene can't be stopped. I think that's the wonderful thing. So no matter what happens, but I can't wait to see all you guys in real life. It's been too long. I've been at home so much, and it's just driving me insane.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I do think that we need to, after this party, we do need to have a bigger discussion demo scene wise, what we can do to prevent this. I mean, we at CSAT have tried starting building something, but we're kind of undermanned and understaffed and under technically possible solution right now. I mean, 13 gigabits per second, we would have, our service would have cramped. We have a 10 gigabit connection at the moment, but the hardware wouldn't just take it. But let's have some intriguing discussions after this weekend and see what we can actually do about a sort of a demo scene, a revival of demoscene.tv, for instance, in a way, one way or another.
Or maybe or maybe collaborating with C3VOC for the more future.
That is definitely a possibility that we can explore and should explore. Maybe there's a permanent partnership possibility there. Although obviously there might be different issues.
Yes, sure.
About
what needs to be explored.
copyright stuff or maybe
GEMA.
profanities, GEMA.
Yeah.
That's something we have to discuss. So, but I'm very open to that, and I would love to see a platform that is primarily used for digital arts, especially for us, and that is restriction-free in terms of not copyright material, but in terms of the things that the Americans don't like, so to speak. Big American companies
Like violence,
don't like.
for example.
Violence, yeah.
That was seen as a difficult beast to handle, isn't it? Like, if it isn't like something on the screen, it's copyright. If people sampling things or stealing stuff, it's like, or like I say that stealing stuff.
Yeah,
is
it
nice.
is. Diverse community. Yeah, with lots
I think
of
it's still incredible
different
that
views.
you guys
yeah.
came back like being literally banned from Twitch during a big competition and being back within like an hour fully running is like just incredible. And we'll have discussions after the party. Let's first enjoy this party on this platform. And take it from there. But I will say, like, it's one more example that the demo scene cannot be stopped. As somebody commented in the chat, which I liked, is like, within half an hour, there was a new stream running where another company would just have send out a message like, hey, we seem to have been banned, and we're looking into it. Revision was already back. It's that was incredible. Just wanted to say that, like, I was sitting at home. The only downside for me is that I was watching Twitch on my PlayStation. That didn't work, so now I had to move to my work setup. Oh no, woe is me.
Oh, we're actually watching the stream on our PlayStation right here.
PlayStation with the web browser that runs very, very, very fine.
Yeah. Yes, it just works. We'll send you a link.
We'll send you a link. Yeah.
I don't know how to do this work. I'm just here to chat, like, and look pretty. That's all I do.
Well, I think it's time to round this up and leave it back to you, the capable hands of D.Fox and dojoe, or capable, I should say.
Capable.
In our hands. Let's keep it at that.
We have hands?
Yes.
I do.
Something like that. And I will be back in a bit with the, compo commentary, but thanks to all of you other guys.
Yeah, thank you. That was it was great having you here. Thank you for
thanks for joining us.
Being part of our lively discussion. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Looking forward to Edison. Looking forward to Nova. Looking forward to the rest of Revision. Absolutely. There's a lot of stuff in store.
Outline. There's outline still. Okay, just maybe a short question. Is outline is still going to happen? Is it? But it's also not quite sure if it's on or off site. Yeah.
I haven't checked with Havoc yet, but as the way it's going in the Netherlands right now, I can't imagine it happening on site. So it will definitely be an online party.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the Netherlands is not doing great. So having that happen in May is pipe dream. We'll be online, definitely.
So fingers crossed. But I'm pretty sure, we'll prevail.
We will. I mean, we survived 2020. We're going to survive 2021.
Yeah, exactly.
Always prevail.
Yeah, there's no stopping us. That's the spirit.
Nope. We break for nobody.
We break for nobody, as Gaspard put it yesterday. It was so great, awesomely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks to all of you. We will be back to our schedule. So bye to Sweden, the Netherlands, and the UK.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Yes.
So that was, I hope it was interesting. It was very interesting to me. Mm-hmm. We have a lot to unpack basically on not just from yesterday, but it enhanced the necessity to talk about things.
Yes.
And there's a lot of things that we can maybe unpack tomorrow when we have in our breakfast, we have an Ask Me Anything section. So maybe we can unpack a bit more about what we think, what we feel, and what's happening basically in the background. Mm-hmm. So that might be interesting. Next up, Dojo, take it away.
Okay, bye.
Not take you away. Take away the
sorry.
next event.
So we have some nice breakfast music
I hear.
coming up for you, because we still haven't bowed to Turbo Analysis whims enough. And before they take, we don't even want to know what would be their next escalation step. We literally fear for our lives by now. So we'll just honor their requests. And they have sent us a third DJ set for the morning. Mm-hmm. And so without further ado, let's present Waking Up with Anal.